Hello, my name's Sydney, so Zess and Allhallows-on-Sea, and today we are back on the Kent Coast Walk. And we're going to continue along the coast on the east side of Egypt Bay and around. So this walk takes us from Egypt Bay, we go around the coast, continuing eastwards along the Hoo Peninsula, we'll get to St. Mary's Bay, and then continue a bit more beyond that bay until we get to the Dagnam Saltings, I think. It's a beach just before you get to Allhallows, and then we'll arrive at Allhallows and they have like a little haven, seaside mobile home campsite thing, which is interesting. We'll walk through that and that's where we've left our car. So I'm quite excited. It is a lot shorter than the killer walk I did last time for 11 miles. This one's about 7 miles. I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun, especially the beach. The beach is the bit I'm looking forward to the most. One last thing before we get going. I am joined by my mum as usual, and she doesn't want to be on camera as usual, but I do have some company today, which I'm glad about, because last time I got a bit lonely. Bye bye Egypt Bay. We're heading onto the Thames estuary. This is actually the last walk where we'll be entirely on the proper Thames estuary, because after that we'll be reaching the North Sea. So just out there you can see where from Essex on the other side and Kent on this side. You can see it going out to the North Sea. It really looks like the wide open water. The mushrooms haven't quite gone away yet. There's still quite a lot of them everywhere. We have made it to St. Mary's Bay, the second bay along this coast after Egypt Bay, not including the little flooded area that we had last time. Significantly bigger than Egypt Bay. I'd say about double the size, if not slightly more than that. We have discovered Driftwood Corner, as my mum dubbed it. There's also a colony of cows over there. There's the herd of cows. There's also some more of those strange abandoned buildings that we keep seeing on the all along the Hoo Peninsula. And here we are at the other end of St. Mary's Bay, about to head further east towards Allhallows. We're actually like making really good time here. After this stretch of coast we'll be at the beach. As we continue along the coast, the beaches are becoming more and more common. So by the time we get to the main, well, the big beach just outside of Allhallows, it's pretty much continuous beaches from there on. With the exception of the fact that soon after Allhallows we have to go down the River Medway, so the beaches will stop again. But as for beaches along the Thames estuary and the extended estuary, they seem to be becoming more of the norm than not being the norm. Got all the sea glass here. So the coast turns into a little bit of a bay here, where over there we shall join the beach, and that takes us all the way along to Allhallows. I'm slightly concerned about the tide, but hopefully we'll be okay. Interesting signpost next to this stile we just climbed over. Just turning down this path here. And that leads us onto the beach section, which is essentially the last section of our walk. And Allhallows is just there. Though it might take us a while depending on the tide. Here we are at the first significant beach on the Kent side of the coast, coming out of London. And it's just before we get to Allhallows. This feels like quite a milestone, to be honest. That was a milestone last time of the northernmost point of Kent, but this time, like, the first actual beach. We've had like tiny beaches before, but this one's just, it's like an actual beach that's significant in size. We're the only people here, and it's so calm and peaceful. Having to walk across the marsh a little bit here because the water is very high. We would have walked along there, but because the tide's a tad too high, we're going to walk across these plants a little bit. I can't deny this landscape here is so beautiful. I think this is going to be one of the most unique bits of landscape on the entire walk. You know, with the marshes and then the beach and the sea all next to each other. I'm not too sure when I'll see something like this again. There will be other unique landscapes, but this one stretch of coast, it's just really awesome. Yes, this is very beautiful, but how are we going to get across? We may have encountered a problem. Make sure you come here at low tide. I think we're going to find our way around somehow. So we've decided to backtrack a little bit, back along. We had to stop there because of the river, and we've gone back along to the embankment and along here to this footpath, which leads us down here and along a public right-of-way through this little marshy area and eventually back to the beach. So if you happen to come here at high tide, there's always this bank that you can walk along. Here is the first bridge you'll come across. Public right of way. So we made it roughly back to where we were before, which was here, except on the other side of this river. And we're gonna head onwards. This path isn't very pleasant to walk, as picturesque as it is though. It's a tad bit bumpy on the feet and the ankles. What did you do, Mum? Did you... Mum just threw... Huh?
My boat.
Your boat?
Boat. Oh, there's the bridge.
No!
Yeah.
How are we getting across there? That is our little bridge to get across there. You can do it, Mum.
I added to the bridge. See?
Okay. Oh, it's actually pretty solid. Okay. So we're a tad lost. We're not too sure if we want to go across like a rickety pole, wood plank there across the water, or if we go over this stile and across this field to about there where I think I can see a stile to get back that way. I've looked on the maps and it's a bit tricky to tell which way we're supposed to go. So we're going to try this way first. Making our way across, it looks like the footpath goes here because there's actually a surprisingly solid bridge for once. I don't know how I'm getting over this though. Let me put the camera away. Yeah. Right. How am I doing, Mum?
Yeah, come out a bit further, a bit further. That's it.
We just climbed under this barbed wire fence. So now to show why we had to crawl under that barbed wire fence there. There was like a significant gap so we could get under. But this stile is completely destroyed. And there's no way I'm using that for support, it's so wobbly. So that is supposed to be the step, but it's fallen and I couldn't lift it up either. We crawled under here. It has to be the craziest thing I've done so far on this walk.
Oh.
I'm afraid we may have reached a limit here. So the path is there. And how am I supposed to get across this water? I don't know how deep that is. I could jump to that bush, but also that bush is in the water as well, so I don't know if it's solid underneath or if I'm gonna fall like really far. My mum's checking up there to see if there's a way across, but doesn't seem to be. Okay, so we decided against trying to get across there because I prodded it with like the stick, and even the bushes were in the water and it just doesn't seem safe. So we're going to try and make our way across the fields until we get to a point where we can get back to the coast. We're still fairly close to the coast, it's just over there, like literally just there across that little bit of marsh, so I'm not feeling too bummed. We did all we could to try and get across. Let's continue and see where we can get back on onto the beach. So we came to the end of the field through that gate there, which you can unlock, and we found this gate here, and we're hoping maybe we can get across somehow. Otherwise we'll head towards these trees and try and get a bit further. So partly why I'm doing this series is to show people like the correct way to go. Well, that's not the main reason. I want to do the whole coast for like myself and to have that achievement, but also I love showing people, and this is like a prime moment where I can show that like this gate, like, because we thought the public right of way is over there, but if you go a bit further to this gate, it looks like it leads you to like this track that goes across that bit of water that we couldn't get past before, and it looks like there's a little path leading over there. My mum's just gone through there somewhere. So through here, I don't know where she's gone. Oh my gosh, we're at the beach! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! Mum! We did it! So you're worrying about nothing. There is a way to get there. You just have to remember to go through that gate there so you can get across. I am literally so ecstatic. I thought I was going to have to sacrifice a portion of the coast, but I'm not. We're here. We've actually made it back to the coast. I can't tell you how happy I am about this. Here we are, back on track. It's crazy how we did the first part so quickly. It was like, I was thinking like, this is gonna be like the quickest walk ever. No, this second bit has taken forever to get across these marshes. Come at low tide, people. Though if you do come at high tide, it's not impossible. You'll just have to experience what we're experiencing. As a whole though, this is a lovely location. There I go again, keeping up my optimism. But Allhallows has been within our reaches for so long, and we've just been zigzagging back and forth. Look at that! An actual bridge that isn't half sodden. Just want to try and get to that beach over there. We've got this little bank to walk along, and hopefully the hidden river isn't too hard to get across, because then we can go all the way to Allhallows uninterrupted. Ah, the birds, they all flew away. Just walking along here to try and see if we can get across. Again, the high tide has cursed us. It doesn't really seem to be much of a way to get across at high tide. It's very beautiful though. Like, look at that. That's wonderful. So we've settled on heading back in to that field and then walking across to Allhallows, which is just, well, barely it. That's like just right there. It's not even like 2 minutes away if you walk in a straight line. You okay there, Mum? We came down across this little stream here, and then now we're trying to climb up here so we can get along to Allhallows and do that final bit. We have made it to Allhallows Golf Course. Yeah! We walked along there, like along that ridge, but then we walked in the field because it was easier and stuff. And my mum, very honourably, has collected a bunch of rubbish at the beach because she thought the walk was nearly over. And she's carried it this whole way across the marshes to put in the bin. So that's fantastic.
Every little helps.
We've decided to not backtrack along the beach, though we are going to make our way to the beach from here, just because we've walked that distance, with the exception of it being a little bit away from the beach, but alongside it. There's the entrance to the haven, and we're going to follow this path back to the beach. And here we are at the end of the beach. Just over there, not too far, is the bunker thing. And you've got this beautiful landscape with the Bits of marshes sticking out and the beach is in between. And here we are at Allhallows, just about to go up this path and along the coast until we get to the road that leads inland to where we parked our car. And that's where we will end off. Let's get going with the final stretch. It's just such a beautiful location. Well, from this side they warn us. But just down here, we have some more fantastic people. Please do a beach clean.
Oh yeah, this is a nice walk along the beach.
We've arrived at our first groined beach. That like actually looks like beaches that you find further down the coast. Allhallows Leisure Park. Public footpath. Huh. That's the way that we just came. And we have reached the open green space of Allhallows Leisure Park. Here we are. This is where we're ending off today. The end of our walk from High Halstow to Allhallows. My mum's just waiting over there. We're gonna go down this road here, which leads back into the village of Allhallows and where we parked our car. Wow, this has been one crazy adventure of a walk. Far crazier than I was expecting originally, but it's been interesting, really interesting. Next time, we're gonna have Allhallows to Grain, and that's gonna be a far shorter walk, in fact the shortest walk of the entire journey so far. But it will still be fun and exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. Here's one last look at the coast. We shall pick off back right here, where I'm standing right now, and head in that direction. And there you go. That's where I'm going to start off, right there. Hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed a lot. Let me know what you thought. Tell me what you think of the place and everything we saw. And tell me if you'd like do this walk or how you thought it was compared to the other walks and all of that stuff. Now let's get walking into where we left our car in Allhallows. Sign for Haven there. Explore Allhallows. There's the map of the park, the leisure park. We came along and to there. Our car is parked just there. And over here have more information. In fact, here's a pretty good one for what we've walked so far. Remember Gravesend? Pocahontas statue? All the way along to Cliff. And then back out again. Here's the really long one. The northernmost point of Kent there. That's no longer there, you have to go around. And then Egypt Bay. And then today, Egypt Bay, St. Mary's Bay, and the beach to Allhallows. And next time, continue down to Grain. and then so on down to Medway towns, and etc, etc. Goodbye, Allhallows Haven. And there's the entrance sign. Now, off to our car, which is just down this road. And like with the other walk, here's the step counter.